What is going on, everybody? All right, so for today's vlog, I'm going to be talking about some of the most important steps that a home buyer must make before they start their search, okay? So first and foremost, before you contact anybody, before you set up any showings, make sure you have a firm pre-approval. This is going to help you across the entire process. Number one, it's going to give you a clear indication as to what you can afford. You're not going to waste your time looking for things that are out of your price point, but it's also going to help you firm up the process whenever you actually have a conditional deal. You're not running around, there are no surprises, you've already got that taken care of. Now, I don't recommend people to just walk into any bank and just say, hey, can you put me in touch with somebody? I want to get a pre-approval. Number one, they're going to just give you a posted rate, but more importantly, they're going to put you in touch with an account specialist who deals with opening checking accounts, who deals with RRSPs, and who also does mortgages. I would rather you go see somebody that deals with mortgages day in and day out, because they're going to work harder for you to get the deal done, and they're going to get more creative. They're actually going to be able to work on the file a little bit harder as opposed to somebody who's just doing mortgages once in a while. Okay, so we've got contacts at all the major banks as well as some awesome mortgage brokers. So if you need us to put you in touch with somebody, never hesitate to let us know. All right, so we've got the firm pre-approval taken care of. Cool, now we're gonna get to signing with an agent. Majority of people will sign with an agent that they've been referred to, that they meet at an open house, whatever the situation may be, and which is all fine and dandy. However, I would highly recommend you also interview the real estate agent you're going to hire, because this is somebody you're going to be spending a lot of time with. You're going to be working very closely with them. You want to make sure that you're comfortable with them before you start the process. When we list homes, we go in for listing appointments. We're competing against other real estate agents. Some people we're going to mesh well with. Some people might say we want a different type of agent. It's fine. No agent is ever going to accommodate 100 out of 100 people. And that goes for the buyer side. So a referral is a great way to see, okay, this person's got good service. A friend of mine got good service with this real estate agent. It's going to work well for us. 100%. That's a clear indication that that agent knows what they're doing. However, you still want to meet with them, find out what their availability is, find out how they work, their experiences in a particular area, whatever the case may be, and to see how they're able to answer some of your questions and move on from there. Okay, so you should also interview a real estate agent before you sign the contract. All right. Now, once we get to the signing of the contract, make sure you understand what you are signing before you sign it. I've heard so many horror stories of somebody seeing one house and being signed to a one-year contract. Okay. Now, I'm also a real estate agent, and we will not show homes to somebody that's not willing to sign with us, and I'll explain that in a second. But there are reasons to do everything, and the contract, first and foremost, is there to protect both parties. What happens a lot, and this is why agents will not work with somebody without signing them, is a person might have a real estate agent already, but that real estate agent might be a part-time agent. They might have another full-time job. They might be an out-of-town agent that they're related to. So what they do is they go around calling agents to show them these properties, and when it's time to actually put the offer in, they'll call that real estate agent that they're related to or that that's their friend, and they put the offer in with that, which is also not fair. So the agent wants to protect themselves and will not show a property without signing that person to a contract. But you have to understand what you're signing. Now, when we're showing a person a house, we won't sign them to a one-year contract. We initially start the process by just signing them to showing them that one property. All right, and we see how it transpires. And if they don't put an offer in on that home, they're not obligated to work with us. However, if you put an offer in on a house that you saw with a particular agent, you should be putting that offer in with that agent. All right, that's to protect each party. So there's no cut and dry answer, but you should also educate yourself as to what it is. If you want to get a lawyer to review it, feel free to. However, it's not a very complicated contract. There are some plain language forms of the contract you're signing, and your agent should be fairly educated and able to explain each clause for you. Okay, so you've interviewed your real estate agent, you've gotten your pre-approval, you've signed the contracts. Now you're going to start looking. Before you even start the search, once you've got your pre-approval, you must figure out what your non-negotiables are. And what I mean by non-negotiables is 3 to 5 things that you must have. And most people, I tell 3 people, because the prices are getting higher and it's hard to accommodate 5 things. 3 things that are deal breakers, that if they don't have it, you don't even want to bother looking at the home. So a deal breaker may be, a non-negotiable may be the fact that you need a 4-bedroom home. Okay. If you want an office and you've got 2 kids, whatever the situation may be, you want to be close to a particular school, you want a big backyard. These are things that, if you see the perfect home but it doesn't have one of those non-negotiables, you're not going to bother putting an offer in on it, so you don't even want to waste your time looking at them. But on the other hand, if a particular home meets all of those criteria, you know there's no point in holding off and seeing what else is out there. You want to jump on it, because what happens a lot of times is somebody will see a home that meets all their requirements, but they've only maybe looked twice. And they're like, well, what else is out there? But the whole thing is, you have to understand is, if something meets what you're looking for, you have to jump on it, because there are other active buyers out there looking. So those are some of the main things. We've got a few more things. We've got a report. If you're interested, feel free to contact us or download the report at the link listed below. Some things to consider, some frequently asked questions that I don't want to go into depth right now on this vlog. I want to try and keep it short. I'm already at 5.5 minutes. But one extra topic I want to kind of point out to people is, should you be putting an offer in with the listing agent of a particular property? Now, we list quite a few homes. We will not represent the buyer on that home when we tell our clients ahead of time. I won't represent the party, because I genuinely don't feel like I can properly represent both parties. Now, it's completely above board. It's not unethical or illegal or anything like that, as long as the client has it being disclosed to them that the listing agent is representing both parties. People think, well, I'm going to get a better deal if I work with this person. At the end of the day, the agent has an obligation and duty to that agent or to the client on the listing side. So now, while they're not going to do anything unethical, they're more than likely either going to have their hands tied and they're just kind of say, okay, listing client, buyer client, you guys hash out, tell me what to do, we'll go back and forth. You're not necessarily going to get a better deal. You might want to have somebody who is specifically representing you. I know I would feel much more confident to have an agent who's only working for me, not the fact that they're representing both clients. Now, if you're comfortable with the fact that the agents can represent both sides, cool. But just think about that before you go ahead and put an offer in. A lot of people go around calling listing agents to listing agent go, if I put an offer in, I'll put it in with you only for that home because I want to get a better deal. It's some of the one of the biggest misconceptions that drives me insane, because it's like, you wouldn't have a lawyer representing a plaintiff and a defendant in one case. You're actually not allowed to do that. Why? And actually, I've been talking about this for quite a while, and it's no longer allowed to happen in British Columbia, and I think it's eventually going to come to Ontario as well. So it's something to really consider. You should have an agent completely representing you and your best interests at heart. It allows there to be no misunderstandings or any gray areas, and leads to less confusion in the long run. So if you have any questions, you're thinking about buying in the next 12 months and you just don't know where to start, never hesitate to let us know. We'd be more than happy to sit down with you, answer some of your questions. There's no contract, no obligation until we start the process, but we'd love to put you in touch with some of the other professionals that we work closely with and help you with your search. All right, sorry this one was a little bit longer than usual, but there's quite a bit to cover. So hope you guys enjoyed that. Jacob at SoldByJacob.com, Facebook, Instagram, SoldByJacob, and as always, thank you so much for watching. Have a good one, guys.